Good day, students. I am Abdulganiy R. Iyanda, the course facilitator for ECN 112, Introductory Statistics. At the end of this lecture, you should be able to define statistics, state and define any 5 statistical vocabulary, differentiate between the 2 branches of statistics. As an economics student, you may be wondering, why statistics? Why do I need it in the study of economics? Why should I study statistics? How can studying of statistics help me as economist? All these questions shall be answered by the end of this course in ECN 112. Today, we'll be looking at nature and scope of statistics. Then, what is statistics? Statistics is the science of collecting, organizing, summarizing, analyzing, and interpreting data in order to make decisions. Again, collecting, that is, statistics involve collection of data. After the collection, we organize the data. After organizing data, we summarize this data. We also analyze the data. We interpret it for an ultimate goal, and that ultimate goal is to make decisions. Let us take, for instance, in census. Households are asked such questions as their age, their gender, nature of employment, and ethnicity. Why do we have to answer this question during census? Number 1, to determine the total number of households in a particular country. Say Nigeria, to determine the total of people living in this country. 2, to ascertain the age distribution of the population so that we know those that are dependent, the workforce, and the rest. To find out the number of workforce in the population, and also to determine how public funds should be distributed, among other reasons. Why studying statistics? Like I said initially, the ultimate reason for studying statistics is for decision making. However, reason may differ from field to field. As an economist, our reason for studying statistics may be different from a footballer. It may be different from an ecologist and the rest. Let us take, for instance, in sports. For example, a statistician may keep record of the number of tackles a football player wins in a season. In public health, for instance, an observer might be concerned with number of residents who have cancer during a certain period. And also as an economist, which is the course you are studying, you may be interested in per capita income, unemployment rate, and population growth during a certain year. Basic statistical vocabulary. What are those vocabulary that we use in statistics? Those vocabulary, you will be encountering them as you progress in this course. The first one is data. What is data? The way we define data in statistics is different from the way a computer scientist will define its own data. In statistics, data consists of information coming from observation, count, measurement, or responses. That is the meaning of data. Another vocabulary we use in statistics is population. And this is the collection of all outcome responses, measurement, or count that are of interest. If my interest is the number of chairs in a particular class, to know how many of them are good, how many of them are bad, then those chairs become my population. If I'm considering hospital, the patient, if my intention is on the patient, the total patient in a particular hospital become my population. And that's what referred to as population. Another vocabulary we use is sample. Sample is just a subset of a population. In mathematics, generally, whenever you see the word SUB, sub, it simply means fraction part of something. As far as this is concerned, we are saying that sample is a fraction part of our population. A parameter is another vocabulary, and this is numerical description of population characteristic. Why the numerical description of sample characteristic is known as statistic. Statistic here does not have S. That's different between the course itself and that vocabulary. Let us take, for instance, in 2014, DLI spent a total of 2 million naira on staff development. Our question on this: does this numerical value describe a population parameter or a sample statistic? Let us look at that question critically. DLI spent a total of 2 million naira on staff development. The staff development that we have there simply tells us that the focus is on population, because we are talking about all the staff in the institute. Therefore, the numerical value described by 2 million is population parameter. Still on the vocabulary, we have variable. Variable is a characteristic or attribute that can assume different values. Also, we have qualitative variable and quantitative variable. While qualitative variable can be placed into distinct categories, example, gender, classification, religion, preference, and geographical location. Quantitative variable are numerical and can be ordered or ranked, e.g., age, height, weight, body temperature. We can rank human beings according to their age. We can rank human beings according to their height. As a matter of fact, as far as military personnel is concerned in this country, you must, at the entrance, you must have specific height before you can be allowed to be a military personnel. Basic statistical vocabulary. Under the quantitative variable, we can divide that one into two: discrete and continuous. By discrete, we are talking about those ones that we can count, that we can assign values, such as 0, 1, 2, 3, 2. While continuous variable are those that assume infinite number of values between any two specific values. Branches of statistics. Statistics is divided into two major branches: descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. By descriptive statistics, we mean the statistics that involve the organization, summarization, and display of data. While inferential statistics, as the name suggests, we always infer from the sample. That is, we draw conclusion about a population. And the basic tool we use under inferential statistics is probability. Let us take this example. Consider the study below. A large sample of men aged 48 was studied for 18 years. For married men, approximately 70% were alive at the age of 65. For married men, 90% were alive at age of 65. Decide which part of the study represent the descriptive branch of statistics. What conclusion might be drawn from the study using inferential statistics? I take the question again. A large sample of men aged 48 was studied for 18 years. For unmarried men, approximately 70% were alive at age of 65. For married men, 90% were alive at the age of 65. We are to look at this. Which one fall under descriptive statistics? The one that fall under descriptive statistics are as follows. 1. For unmarried men, approximately 70% were alive. Also, for married men, 90% were alive at the age of 65. Now, the conclusion we can draw from this is that being married is associated to the longevity of life. The lifespan can be elongated if one married, while it can be shortened if one does not marry. Summarily, in this lecture, you have learned the following: what statistics is all about, the basic statistical vocabulary, and the branch of statistics. For more study on this topic, you are referred to ECN 112, Introductory Statistical Method Module of the Distance Learning Institute. Also, Bluman AG 2012, Elementary Statistics, a Step-by-Step Approach, 8th edition, McGraw-Hill. Lansing R and Faber B 2012, Elementary Statistics, Picturing the World, 5th edition, Pearson Publisher. Thank you for